Please join me in Vashuk. The light of wisdom exceeds all measure, and every finite living being receives this illumination that is like the dawn. So take refuge in Amida, the true and real light. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Welcome everyone to our New Year's Eve Joya service. We will begin with sutra chanting led by Reverend Maribeth Smith, Smitty, and that will be followed by the Dharma message. We will then have a recording of Ondoku-san, and the lyrics will appear on the screen, so you can put yourself on mute, but sing along with the music. And then we'll have closing remarks, announcements, and then Reverend Smitty will ring the Joya no Kane, the last night bell. So if you would like for us to ring the bell for you, please put your name in the chat or submit a request in the chat, or just take yourself off mute towards the end and let us know that you would like the bell to be rung for you. So I will now turn this over to Smitty Sensei to lead us in the sutra chanting Jusei-ge.
Gagon Chosegan Hishimu Jodo Shigan Fumanzo Sefujo Shogak Gao Muryoko Fuidai Seshu Fusai Shobingu Sefujo Shogak Gashi Jobundo Myosho Chojipo Kukyo Mishomon Sefujo Shogak Ryokujin Shonen Joeshu Bongyo Shigumu Jodo Isho Tenin Shi Jinriki Endai Ko Fusho Musaido Shoujo San Kumyo Kosai Shuyakunan Kaihichi Egen Meshi Konmo An Heisoku Sho Akudo Tsudaten Zen Shumon Koso Jo Manzok Ioro Jipo Nichigan Shujuki Tenko Onpugen Ishukai Hozo Koseku Doku Ho Jo Dai Shuchu Seppo Shishiku Kuyo Isai Bu Gusoku Shutoku Hon Gane Shinjo Man Toku i sangai o nyobuten mugechi tsudaten mi fusho gangaku erik toshi sai shoson shiganya koka daisen o kando koku shoten nin to uchin myoke namandabu 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 Ganishi kudoku Yodo seisai Dohon bodaishin Ojo Show Namandab, 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 Namandab. Well, welcome everybody to tonight's New Year's Eve service. We have a small but mighty group here. It's nice to see so many folks, even though it's on Zoom and we're unable to get together in person at this time. I hope everybody's doing well and is ready for the new year. And I'd like to take the moment to thank everyone who's helped put together the service for tonight, so that we can all participate in some way as we choose. So please join me in Gasho. When we are filled with our own worries, the voices of others can barely enter into our ears. This is because we are too preoccupied to listen. At such times, stop right there, close your eyes, and open the ears of your heart. When you can sharpen the ears of your heart, things you ordinarily would not hear can be heard, and you can now pay attention to the person who has something to ask of you. The voice of the Buddha is the same as this. When you go to the gods and the Buddhas and pray to them with a heart filled with your own wishes and desires, your head is so filled with the things you wish to ask that it is impossible to hear the voices of others, in this case, the voice of the Buddha. In order to hear the voice of the Buddha calling you, it is important you strain the ears of the heart to catch the sounds that you usually do not hear. By doing so, you are able to hear the wish that the Buddha places on you, and the world opens up. This experience is what Jodo Shinshu calls listening with the ears of the heart. Zenman Otani Koshin. Namandab, 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 Namandab. Well, according to my calculations, we've come to the end of the year 2021, and in a few hours, we'll be ushering in the year 2022. And we gather on the eve of the new year to reflect on what has passed and anticipate the possibilities of what will come. You know, a year ago, or one lap of the Earth around the sun ago, we stood on the brink of 2021, hoping to bring something better than the trauma of the pandemic-filled 2020. And I use the word trauma to describe 2020 because of the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual distress that living through months of pandemic brought to many of us, and indeed to the entire world. So suffering became so common in the past 2 years that many of us became numb to the unfathomable number of COVID infections and deaths. Some of our personal worries this past year include unprecedented societal, cultural, class, race, political, and ideological unrest. And in addition to the global pandemic, we're experiencing personal worries about raging wildfires, floods and landslides, devastating hurricanes, swarms of tornadoes, and other natural disasters. And we became, as Zenmon Sama said, filled with our own worries and too preoccupied to listen. Some of us closed our eyes and our ears, others closed our minds, and a few of us closed our hearts. But if we're to learn from this past year, or if we desire to continue to encounter the Buddha Dharma, we must strain the ears of the heart to catch the sounds that we usually do not hear. When I set aside my own worries and self-centered concerns, I can see past the suffering of 2021 to the moments of experiencing interdependence, the times I was supported by others, the days when isolation gave way to a form of togetherness, and the instances when I felt the joys of living, even though I was still living in this saha or mundane world. And by the way, saha world is often translated as a world of endurance, which I find to be particularly apt as we consider this year that is rapidly coming to its conclusion. In this past year, we've lost some good friends, family, and Sangha members. Yet in their passing, we're reminded of how precious, fragile, and unrepeatable this life truly is. Those friends and loved ones are urging us to encounter the Dharma and not waste the time that we have. During this past year, some of us have been ill or experienced health issues, and hopefully in that suffering, we came to appreciate the tireless efforts of the healthcare providers and workers, of medical staff, support staff, of laboratory personnel and pharmacy staff, and the medical researchers who sustain us and help to restore our health. And as we review this past year, we can constantly view our experiences through the filters of our own worries, or we can open the ears of our hearts to take in the times we've encountered the Dharma and the support of others. We can see this past year in terms of our struggles, our disappointments, our challenges, our anguish, and our suffering. And we can project into the next year our anxieties and fears, our uncertainty, and our distress. Or perhaps as Shin Buddhists, we can open the ears of our hearts to review 2021 from a different perspective. When we set aside our selfish viewpoint, we recognize the support of others that carried us individually and collectively through the year 2021. Opening our hearts lets us recognize the efforts of frontline medical professionals, first responders, essential workers, air cargo pilots and cargo handlers, firefighters, grocery store workers, delivery people, search and rescue personnel, truck drivers, Amazon warehouse workers, teachers, sanitation and recycling workers, public safety officers, postal employees, and many others who sustained us throughout 2021 in ways that are seen and unseen. And opening the ears of our hearts make us aware of the efforts of Kenji Sensei and Karen, of our temple board members, of various committee and group members, of the Dharma school teachers and staff, of Reverend Gibbs, of Linda, our office manager, of our Zoom hosts, and all our Sangha members and Dharma buddies who have worked so hard throughout 2021 that we might hear and encounter the Nembutsu teachings and keep our temple operating in spite of great challenges. Throughout this past year, we've been supported and sustained by countless others, seen and unseen by us, known and unknown to us. And it is only by listening with our ears of our hearts that we are aware of their efforts, and we can find a reason for gratitude despite our muddling through this Saha world. As we bring 2021 to a close and look to the beginning of 2022, we recall the words of Zenman Sama and open the ears of our hearts that we might hear the voice of the Buddha calling us, feel the compassionate light of Amida Buddha embracing us, and rejoice in the Nembutsu teachings that surround us every day. So let's close 2021 with Gasho. I would like to express my respect and sincere gratitude to the doctors, nurses, and frontline medical professionals who have been engaging in the treatment of infected people, as well as the essential workers who have made it possible for us to continue with our lives, and offer my heartfelt appreciation to you all. Gomanshu Otani Kojin. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandabs, 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 namandabs.
Thank you, Smitty Sensei. I'm overwhelmed by your words and have mixed feelings of sorrow and joy. But I want to thank everybody today for attending today's service. This is a very special service. And I want to thank, there are many people to thank actually, but I do especially want to thank Smitty Sensei, whose Dharma message today, I think, encapsulated the myriad of experiences that we have all gone through this past year, maybe even the past 2 years. And I enjoyed hearing those words, open the ears of the hearts. So let's all be grateful for this past year and to approach 2022 with open ears of our own hearts. Let's see, we have announcements. I think Ralph has an announcement. Ralph, do you want to talk about a fundraiser that's upcoming?
Sure. Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year. I just wanted to remind all of you that the temple will be having its virtual fundraiser with Panda Express on Friday, January 21st. It's all day and it's a nationwide fundraising event specifically for the Buddhist temple. So there's a flyer that is on the temple website. You can click on that and follow the prompts to order your food through Panda Express on that particular day. And the temple will also do an e-blast or sending out a link to everybody. Please share this with family members and friends. And it is a nationwide event. And so please participate in that fundraiser for the temple. You have to do it online. No walk-ins will be allowed for this fundraiser. Thank you.
Thank you, Ralph. Also want to remind everybody that tomorrow is our Shusoe service, our New Year's service, and that's going to be at 10 o'clock on Zoom. And our Ho'onko service on January 16th is going to be a very special service. Again, that also will be on Zoom. The reopening committee met and recently made a decision that for the month of January, the remainder of the month of January will all be Zoom due to the rising numbers, case numbers that the Omicron variant is causing. Let's see, I also want to mention a big thank you to two very special people who made the technology of this event possible, and that is our minister's assistant, Bill Teague, and Ralph Honda, who has been tirelessly preparing. We also, this is Plan B. Plan B was to do everything on Zoom, but we actually had a Plan A. So there were several Plan A volunteers who were going to be meeting at the temple today at 6 a.m., but that didn't quite come through. But I do want to thank each and every one of you for volunteering. All right, so that brings us to our Joya no Kane, the last night ringing of the bell. And I have 3, 4, 5 names so far of people who wanted the bell rung in their names. Smitty Sensei is going to do the bell ringing, do the honor of the bell ringing. So if you would like the bell rung on your behalf, I'm sorry that you can't be there to ring it yourself in person, but we will ring it for you. And I also just want to say, it's so, I can't see all of your faces, but I can see lots of names, and I can also see families that are joining together to attend tonight's New Year's Eve service. So it's wonderful to see all of you. Okay, so Sensei, are you ready?
I'm ready to start ringing the bell. If you would like to
Okay.
Share the names before each strike that you have, and also if somebody can help me keep count to make sure that we do ring at least 108 times. That would.
Do you have a volunteer? Do we have a volunteer to count?
I can count. This is Bill.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Okay, Bill will count. So the first name is Jonathan Stewart. Roger Kopic. Shirley Omori. Efton Woodford. Andrea Covarrubias. Paulina Covarrubias. Lorena Covarrubias. Zoe Yamamoto. Ava Yamamoto. Robert Yamamoto, Sharon Sasaki, Yukari Williams, Lisa Umekubo, Mateo Umekubo, Nick, Aki Tomiyama, Norman Kondo, Bill Teague, Ralph Honda, Brevin Honda, A.T. Furuya, Joy Furuya, Dominique de los Reyes, Nikki Honda, Avis Honda, Joyce Teague, Jamie Brown, Peter Brown, Mako Enox, Aya Enox, Momo Kapak, Brevin Honda, Margie Kitano, Roy Okuhara, Karen Okuhara, Lauren Sasaki, Brian Sasaki, Haley Sasaki, Jenna Sasaki, Chad Sasaki, Garrick Tomiyama, Jackson Tomiyama, Tommy Tomiyama,
Well, Smitty and Reverend Laverne and Reverend Smitty, I'm not sure how good my counting was because I was trying to type in the middle of that, but I counted at least 60 rings so far. It speaks to the generosity of our Sangha members to think of others. That is out of 18 viewers, some of them are groups, of course, to this service. But if we were able to go ahead and bring another 48, then I think that will bring us home.
Okay. Did I already say Brevin? I think I did. Yes. Okay. Smitty, would you like to ring one for me, Laverne, Maury?
Laverne Sensei.
Yes, please. And Kimo Kawet, Suzanne Cowett, and ring one for yourself and Jackie. Jackie and Smitty Sensei. Would also like to add Reverend Kenji Akahoshi and Karen Akahoshi. Katie Sumida. We have everybody on the. Anybody else want to chime up? How about Erika Williams?
Carolyn.
Jay Williams. Say, Katie, I didn't hear that.
Carolyn.
Oh, Carolyn. I'm sorry, Carolyn. I totally missed you. Carolyn, and I think I saw Dorothy. And for Reverend Gibbs. Bishop Harada Sensei. Would anybody like to speak up?
I think in chat there's another for Reverend Laverne Sasaki
Yes.
and Helen Sasaki.
And Courtney Okuhara. Richard Matsumoto. Kim Tiffany Furuya. Jason Okuhara. And Ralph said, for the Buddhist Temple of San Diego Sangha. Sachio Yamamoto. Jeffrey Chu. Mitch Himaka. Naomi Himaka. Luann Lee. Harold Lee. Katsubi Kida. Miyoko Yamanishi. Noriko Kawai. Arturo Rubio. Joe Cross. Wendy Nakamura. Jeannie Kashima. Hector Covarrubias. Dalton Covarrubias. Wendy Nakamura. Stephen Smith. Fumiko Ohara. Mani Ryan. Ed Hill family. Musu Moribe. Glen Negoro family.
Well,
Ruth Voorhees.
and Reverend Smitty, let's ask if there's any more, but we've already exceeded 108, speaking to the compassion of our Sangha. And I'm reminded that the 108 number was used by monks in reciting Amita's name 100 times, but making sure they said it 100 times perfectly. So they always did 108, and we've already exceeded 108 in the same spirit. So a lovely evening. But please, if anyone else has a name that we did not recite, please let us know.
I'd like to add Ruth Voorhees. Mitzi Kawamoto. Please join me in Gasho, everyone. The light of wisdom exceeds all measure, and every finite living being receives this illumination that is like the dawn. So take refuge in Amida, the true and real light. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Thank you, everyone. This was a wonderful gathering, and I hope to see everyone again tomorrow. I want to mention that Smitty Sensei, very dedicated. She's not feeling 100%, but she has done a wonderful job for us in putting together these services and for delivering such a wonderful, wonderful Dharma message this evening. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Take care.